And so I kind of had fun preparing for this because I went back and started looking at some of my journals. And there was a conversation with Warren Buffett I had 7 pages on, and I had questions that I asked him, that were pretty interesting. And there were some other things that were there. But we were talking about journals.
So when did you do the conversation with Warren Buffett? How long ago was that?
Maybe 9 years ago.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the, that's a whole other conversation. But anyway, so I had an opportunity to sit down with him for dinner and spend about 3 or 4 hours with him, and so it was pretty cool. But here's an empowered wealth tool, okay, that I'll share with you right now. So I showed him this, and I said, it's this tool, I just carry it with me. I talked to him about the power of capture and how we don't capture enough, and walking through some of our scenarios, which is something I'm very passionate about, so it's very easy to talk about. I said, you want me to show you my favorite tool? I said, do you want me to show you my favorite journal? So I had this bag up there, and you can tell everybody's like, yeah. And I said, well, I decided a long time ago that my family, not just me, my parents, and my children, grandchildren, but my extended family, my brothers and sisters and everybody, every year have these amazing experiences where they capture these stories. Where they have these stories that don't get captured. So if I were to ask each one of them to please write down at least one story, one happening that they're grateful for, one experience that they're grateful for that happened, what do you think the likelihood would be of me being able to get 50% of those, 25%, maybe 10% of those? It'd be like herding cats. It'd be terrible. So you develop a tradition. And the tradition is very simple in our family. And so then I pull out this 8-foot by 12-foot tablecloth.
Did you take it to...
I took it. This is my favorite journal. And I held it up, and I said, this is my dad. And you could tell his hand because his fingers are crooked. And that was the year that he went through the temple. And I said, and he wrote down here, that here. And then I said, now let's find this other picture. This was just last year, and then here's his hand again. And I said, and then on this one, he had just gotten out of the hospital, and he thought he was going to die. And he talked about how grateful he is to get out of the hospital and spending time for doctors and for being able to spend time with his family and the people that mean the most to him. And so now we're capturing these stories, and then here's Nick's last hand print, and so it's just cool, But it's just systems that you create that are self-sustaining. They're sustainable. Whereas if I had to try and get stories, I couldn't get them. But that's sustainable prosperity. You see what I'm saying? And so so that's what I love about this. You know what I mean? It's just this constant exchange. I don't have any idea where that idea came from, but it must have come from someplace. Maybe it came from when I was a little kid and had to trace it at school. I don't know where it came from, but now we've got 3 tablecloths of history now, and they last for about 3 years each. So we've got we've developed this history that we go back and look, and you're able to put these things together. And how priceless is that? And so we see ourselves as being very creative in all these different areas. So as we won't do anything that violates the principles of what we talk about. We continue to expand and develop the concepts. We get deeper. We're getting deeper into the concept of sustainable gratitude or empowered gratitude, or what we call active gratitude, as opposed to passive gratitude. And so we go deeper into that. The practical applications of gratitude within the workplace, practical applications within the family. So you start looking at some of those concepts and saying, okay, how do you do it? And then what are the tools that can support that? And we're developing this library of tools supporting the concepts, which continually get better based upon these principles. And we know that we're making a difference, but we also know that we're barely scratching the surface. That's,